of Durga Sukta. This particular last mantra of Durga Sukta. Pratno shikamidya adhareshu sanat sahota navyasya satsi swancha agne tanuvam piprayas asmabhyancha saubhagamaya jat. I think we completed this. Go Tamayujo Nisekam Tavendra Vishnu Kano Sancharema Nagasya Prishtamabhisambasano Vaishnavim Lokasnamadayantam. After the study of this mantra, Durga Sukta will be completed. This mantra number 7 that we have studied in Durga Sukta is not available in the most of the Mahanarayana versions. In the most of the texts they are not there, and there is no commentary of either Sayanacharya or Bhattabhaskara on this. So we really do not have, at least I do not have any ancient interpretation of this. So we have to go with our own understanding of this mantra. So here, Hey Indra, we are praying now to Indra. Then we are saying, Hey Indra, please advocate to Mahavishnu on my behalf. Or we can also interpret this as, you Indra is none other than Vishnu. Both the dhvani comes out in this sentence, that because Indra in many occasions has been substituted by Vishnu, and Vishnu by Indra, and Vishnu by Surya. For example, in the Surya Namaskara mantras, so one of the names of Surya is also Vishnu. So they are all used interchangeably. And then now we go and say, Hey Indra, and a plea is made. So the question is, who is this Vishnu to whom we are praying, we are worshipping? We go to the etymology of the word Vishnu, Vishnuhu Vyapakaha. That means Vishnu who is all-pervading. So when something is all-pervading, it is also all-knowing. Isn't it? Sarvavyapakatvam, that is all-pervading entity, is also sarvajnatvam, it is all-knowing, and therefore what is the most important knowledge that we are interested in? We are interested in what is merit, papa punya, what is comfort and happiness, sukha, and what is unhappiness and discomfort, dukkha. So we are also not just interested in Papa Punya and Sukha Dukkha because that we know how it is. But we do not know what is the origin of this Papa Punya and Dukkha. We don't know. Which one of our acts result in merit? We don't know. Isn't it? And therefore we do not know their origin. We do not know their cause. What causes me to do something positive or negative? We don't know. We try to give some explanation that it is instinct and vasanas and samskaras and that and all that, but still we have not answered the question, what is the origin of vasana and samskara? And therefore, who knows that? And also, since we don't know the origin, since we don't know the cause, we also don't know the means of handling them. And hence, we ask for, oh Vishnu, since you are actually all-pervading, and hence you are also all-knowing, you must probably know the origin, cause, effect, and the means of handling sukha dukkha and papa punya. So the mantra continues and says, okay, so Vishnu is part of the knowledge of all these things. He is all-pervading, and therefore the question arises, is he also a part of experiencing sukha dukkha papa punya? Is he also experiencing? For that, the answer is, now it says, Ayujaha. Here the mantra says, Ayujo. Yuja comes from the word Yujir Yoge. Yoga, one of the definitions of yoga is to yoke or to be associated. So in the mantra it's saying, go, let me give you the Padavibhaga, then you will understand. Go bihi jushtam ayujo nishiktam tava indra vishnoho anu sancharema. Sancharema also you can do. Nakasya prishtham abhi samvasanaha vaishnavim lokam iham adayantam. Like this we can break it into words. So, hey Vishnu or Indra, you are Ayujaha. You are not yoked to Papa Punya and Sukha Dukkha. Though you are all pervading, you are unaffected, you are uncoupled with Papa and Dukkha. And therefore we are praying to you because you are in the very midst of Papa Punya, Sukha Dukkha, because of your all-pervading nature, but you are not affected. Tell me how you do that. Because I am also in my own world, I am attached, I am going through Sukha Dukkha, difficulties, hardships, enjoyment and everything, Sukha Dukkha, but I seem to be connected with that, yoked to that, but you are not yoked to that. How do you do this? And then, so, therefore, we have to pray to you. Then the next question is, who are we to worship you? That relationship also has to be established. So he says, we are Tava. We belong to you. See, if you are all-pervading and all-knowing, how can we be not part of you? How can we not be one of you? And therefore we belong to you, Tava. Just as I am interested in the welfare of even my smallest toe, which is a minute part of my body, you should also be interested in me. And therefore I belong to you, Tava. And then, how do I recognize that I belong to you? Because for you, you recognize that I belong to you because I am part of you. How does my small toe recognize that it belongs to me? Because Anu Sancharema. Anu, along with you, Sancharema, you can also take it as along with you, we move about. Your small toe comes with you wherever you go. So, we are Tava Anusancharema, we are your followers. And then next question is, why should we follow you? What glory do you have for me to follow you? You are fully endowed with Gobhihi, Gobherjashtam, Gobhihi, Gobhihi. Go means cow, with lot of cows. Go also means knowledge. Gobhihi, with wealth, with cattle, with knowledge. And what kind of wealth you have got? Jushtam. Jushtam means which give you delight. When you have wealth, when you have cows, when you have food, when you have a lot of wealth, what do they give you? They give you Jushtam, happiness. And therefore you have all of these things. So we ask of you of all this wealth for us. Now the question is, okay, you are all pervading, it's everywhere. So is your wealth that we are talking about and asking for everywhere? No, actually it is only Nakasya Prushthe. It is there only, all heavenly pleasures are only in heaven. Isn't it? Nakasya prishte, not only that, Nakasya prishte samvasanaha, Nakasya prishte abhisamvasanaha, samvasanaha, those who are actually living in the heavenly realm, all the deities and the devatas, whom are they worshipping? They don't worship us because we don't have much to give them. They are also looking for wealth. They are also looking for gobirjishtam. Even the devatas are looking for gobirjishtam, and therefore they also come to you for the sake of worship. And they seem to get it also because they are in heavenly enjoyment. So this gobirjishtam, which is in Nakasya prishte, and that Vaishnavim Gobhihi, that wealth which is actually Vaishnavi, belonging to Vishnu, of Vishnu, the wealth and the glory and the knowledge that belongs to Vishnu, that we are Vaishnavim, Ihaloke, in this world, in this life, Adayantam, may we be provided. So usually what happens in any prayer, you have seen many of the stotras. In those stotras, in the end, there will be a palashruti. The palashruti is, if you chant this mantra, you will get this, you will get this. Dhanandanyam pachum bhoputra labham shatasamvatsaram dirghamayuhu. And not only that is, you will get all this wealth. Then you will also avoid hardship. Runa rogadi daridrya papakshurapamrutyavaha bhayashoka manastapa nashyantu mama sarvada. Runa, being in debt, roga, ill health, daridrya, poverty, sins, papa, kshu, that is hunger, apamrityu, untimely death, apamrutyavaha, fear, bhaya, sorrow, shoka, manastapa, animosity and fighting with others, manastapa, all these are the negative qualities. And the positives, wealth, shrihi, good reputation, varchasyam, good health, arogyam, long life, ayushyam, arogyam, all these things are positive. So all these are looked up to be received even by the devatas. And this Shrihi, Varchasyam, Ayushyam, Arogyam, all these things are Vaishnavi wealth. May this entire Vaishnavi wealth Adayantam. So we can look at the summary by that this is a prayer to Indra Vishnu. But in spite of all this wealth and all these delights and all these riches, when the mantra says you are ayuja, that means you are not attached to the papa or dukkha, sins or sorrow. What does it mean? You have enormous amount of wealth. All the wealth of the universe is with you, and you are unaffected by papa. Suppose you said you are unaffected by poverty, we can understand, because he has all the wealth. But you are unaffected by papa and dukkha. Why? It is because our observation in the world, which is avaishnavim, which is the wealth that is avaishnavim, is always accompanied by arrogance, violence and adharma. And therefore, I don't want to go to anybody in my world who have all the wealth and ask them, because their wealth is somehow tainted by papa and dukkha, because it is associated with the violence, adharma and arrogance. There is a beautiful subhashita, what wealth can do, avaishnavim wealth can do to us. Badhirayati karna vivaram. It will disable our ability to listen. First quality of arrogance is that you don't listen to anybody. Whatever anybody says, I know better. Badhirayati karna vivaram. Vacham mukayati. If somebody opens their mouth, they will say, don't talk. You must have heard yesterday's press conference. Vacham mukayati. Nayanam andhayati. It makes your eyes go blind. Vikritayati gatram. It distorts the form itself. The face contortion, body language. Vikritayati gatram. Sampat yashti gatra yashtim. Gatra yashtim is the grace of the body. Vikritayati gatra yashtim. What does it do? Sampata. This wealth does it. Rogoyam adbhuto rajan. This roga of having the avaishnavi wealth is something amazing. That it can do, it can take away your sense of hearing, it can silence others, it can blind you, it can distort your graceful person, and therefore I don't want to ask any of them. But imagine you have seen the various images of Mahavishnu. And the Mahavishnu is usually decked with the most beautiful, most expensive ornamentation. In fact, in Tirupati recently, I think they completely covered Venkateswara with a dress of diamonds. But then with all that adornment that is there, none of this happened to Mahavishnu because it is Vaishnavi Sampradaya. So if you wish to ask for anyone for a favor at all, you ask only Mahavishnu. I am reminded of another beautiful subhashita from Bhartrihari, in which he says, Ganga taranga kanashikara shitalani vidyadharadhyushita charu shilatalani sthanani kim himavata pralayangatani yat savamana parapindarata manushya. Hey, why are you going and begging in front of ordinary mortals who are actually so arrogant as described? Instead of that, Ganga taranga kana shikara shitalani, the cool waters of the surging Ganga water can give you all the food. Then you want to sleep somewhere, you want a shelter to sleep. Which shelter would you choose? Vidyadharadhyushita charu shilatalani. Beautiful bench that is actually occupied by the great denizens of the heaven called Vidyadharas. Vidyadharas are, as the name itself says, those who hold knowledge and wisdom. They are musicians, they are dancers, all of them are Vidyadharas, fine arts. They sleep on those benches of the Himalayas. Sthanani kim himavata prayangatani. Those wonderful places of Himalaya, have they gone into the ocean or have they been swept away by the cosmic waters? Don't go and beg before ordinary people. Same dhvani is there when you say you go and pray to Mahavishnu, who is Ayujaha. The key word is Ayujaha. So this is where usually Phalashrutis are done here. Since you look at the whole conversation of Durga Sukta from the beginning to end, it is one devotee worshipping one deity. So it is a very personal conversation between the deity and the devotee, and therefore it is not Phalashruti, he asks for Anugraha. That's the difference between prayer and between stuti or a stotra and stuti. In a stotra, what happens? It is for a public consumption. Whoever does it, this is what they do. But in Stuti, it is you establishing a relationship with your personal deity, and therefore you ask directly, saying that please bless me with all this.
So is this for Durga or fire or Agni or Indra or Vishnu?
Ekam sat vipra bhula bhavanti.
You start.
Actually, basically this is a prayer for Agni. The reason why we should interpret this as a prayer for Agni, he is Agni Pratyakta Devata. He is the Devata of the earthly sphere. You worship, and you are worshipping the Devata right in front of you. Of all the Devatas, Bhu is Agni, Bhuvaha is Vayu, Suvaha is Surya. And so now you are worshipping ritualistically and also as a prayer, you have to pray only for Agni. So, and moreover, Agni is the Purohita or the priest of the gods who takes all your oblations, and therefore Agni is the one who is worshipped in the entire Durga Suktam. Only one mantra is there where we actually take a feminine deity. The second mantra. Tam Agni Varnam Tapasa Jwalantim Vairo Chaning Karma Paleshu Durga. So the Devi whom you will be worshipping in that sense is actually the Ambhrani Sukta or the Devi Sukta, which we have Ahang Rudre Bharvaso Bhescharam Ahama. So when we parse that, you will see it is completely associated with the female deity called Ambhrani. She is called as Ambhrani Devi, though for the ease of use we have said it as Devi Sukta. It is the original name for that is Ambhrani Sukta. All right. With that we conclude our study of Durga Sukta.